Tonight, I'm about to reveal something profound, an intimate grasp of this concept. You no longer need motivation. I got up this morning feeling a little bit down because the business I put my heart and soul is yet to materialize. But you said your business is now profitable. Of course I did, but you should know me by now. I'm stubborn. The first business is netting millions, millions of naira, literally. I decided to switch it up. The second business is what I'm referencing. Does this mean you have bad days? Of course I do. I have bad days. How I respond or how I choose to respond is what separates you from me. I refuse to allow my emotions dictate my actions. But on this particular day, my emotions led for about an hour or so. But at the instance of recounting this concept I'm about to review, I jerked back to life, attacked the day head on. In fact, recording this video is proof. Let me phrase that. Recording this video is proof of every single thing I've said up until this point. It's 4:25 p.m. I shouldn't be doing this. This is way past my recording time because I've lost sunlight. The lighting is terrible usually at this period of the day. So I have every reason to push this to a later time, most likely tomorrow. But if you repeat a habit twice, you have created another habit. If you repeat a habit twice, you've created another habit. But that's not the discourse of tonight's teaching. The concepts which are recounted that will change your life, that will transform your life, ultimately is what I'm about to review. And I want every single one of you to pay attention. This can be literally the deciding factor between you and your success. The fundamental understanding of this concept literally bridges you to your success. By now, I believe I'm talking to NS sites. I believe I'm talking to people who have been following this channel long enough to understand wisdom only finds expression when it is applied. If you listen to what I say, concur to what I say, but don't take action, then it's unprofitable. You just wasted your time as well as mine. So don't blame me if you've been consuming my content for a long enough time frame and you are yet to produce results as touching what you've learned. It's either one, the outcome you desire takes time to materialize, or two, you just listen but take no action. It's my belief that after today, it will all change. It will all change. This concept is called the law of seed time and harvest. Take note, the law of seed time and harvest. This law is functional as long as the earth remains, for as long as there is land for you to stomp your feet on. This law remains. The law of seed time and harvest. That once you plant, by the integrity of God and scripture or the universe or whatever you believe in, it will grow. You would reap whatever it is you sow. So based on that logic, It says, for every result, for every outcome, for every harvest, there are seeds that programs that desire. For every result, for every outcome, for every consequence, it's a programmed harvest. There are seeds sown to reap all of the above. Tonight's teaching is geared at the individuals. Tonight's teaching has been tailored for individuals who want to assume responsibility. If you do not fall into this category, if you still love the idea of being lazy, playing video games, sitting on the couch, doing nothing, then this isn't for you. Get out, leave us. But this is for the people who are tired of their situation. This is for the people who are hungry for knowledge, who desire a change now in their life. Gentlemen, the concept I'm about to reveal keeps you internally motivated if you understand that every single thing in tonight's or in today's day and age are consequence of an action. There are seeds or there are harvests, and to those harvests there are seeds ascribed to them. Poverty is a harvest. Lack is a harvest. Joy is a harvest. Mediocrity is a harvest. Small-mindedness is a harvest. Lack of relationship is a harvest. Pregnancy is a harvest. Every single thing you desire is a harvest. All you pray to God for is the grace to sow and sow correctly. According to the law of mechanics, an object would remain static unless a force higher than it compels that object to move. So this object or this chair will remain here unless an external force more than it compels it to move. The same thing with your life. One day it will be better, nothing for you. One day something would happen, nothing for you. If you sustain that kind of mindset as touching success, the chances of you leaving that terrible situation, leaving that financial rut at zero, they are in the single digits. So for something to work, you have to make it work. Disregard all of these comforting sayings. We are all different. Some of us take longer to bloom. I'm sick and tired of all those kind of sayings and motivational quotes. My friend, if that's something you gravitate towards, at the end of your life, all you're going to be left with is a gallery contained with a ton of screenshots that one day is going to happen till you die. 99% of people who are born broke stay broke and die broke. So understand this concept fundamentally, that if you do not make something work, if you do not sow the required seeds to get the desired outcome, the chances of it happening by some alchemy and the single digit is next to non-existent. Every single thing is a seed. I want you to take inventory of your life. Take stock of your life. Look at the outcome. Look at the results you're getting and answer this question objectively, because any person who cannot be honest, then there is no room for growth. If you cannot sit down, analyze yourself as a professional and come to a conclusion I've been messing up. I've been sowing the wrong seeds and expecting the right outcome. I've been lazy and I aspire to become a CEO of a publicly traded company. It doesn't work that way. Take inventory of your life. This goal I have set relative to my actions, do I deserve it? Answer this question fundamentally. Relative to every single action I've taken up until this day, do I deserve this goal? The answer is most likely going to be no. Once you grab this concept, it becomes empowering. So my destiny, my financial success is not only as a result of God, is not constrained to the economy, is not decided by the kind of government that comes into place. So my financial future is not as a result of luck. I get to decide who I want to become if I sow the right seeds. Which leads me to the next point. There has to be an expectation. There has to be a desired outcome. There has to be something you desire. That's the problem with people. Their expectations is not defined. That's why it's always cut short. All through Jesus' life, whenever he met someone with infirmity, he always asks for permission. At least it would appear as though he's asking for permission to do the obvious without be made whole again. Imagine him meeting Bartimaeus. He asked the question, my friend, what would you like me to do for you? I mean, the answer seems obvious. I'm a blind man. What else can you do for me aside restoring my vision, restoring my sight? Jesus, the universe, God doesn't function on assumption. Your expectation has to be clearly defined. What is it you want for your life? And once that expectation, the outcome is clearly defined, you must begin to sow seeds, to take actions, steps required to achieve those goals. And this is where most people miss it. The planning phase is enjoyable. The planning phase is where every single person wants to be. The planning phase, the researching of various materials, is where most people find comfort. They detest execution. That's why majority, instead of starting a business they know would be profitable, they know would define their financial future, let me listen to one more podcast. Let me attend this 2 year seminar. Let me just finish this extra 1 year course. Then I'll be sufficient to start a business. For my friend, you derive more knowledge from managing a fruit stand than you would from reading a ton of books alone. Sow seeds that will produce the desired outcome, which is the first thing. The second uh, this is messed up. Let me just round up. The second, and my apologies for this, I'll fix it next time. The second is to identify the steps. Say, for instance, I want to buy a car. The car is a goal. How much is the car? What can I trade in exchange for this car? Well, I don't have nothing. No. Don't make the mistake of the wife of the late prophet. When Elijah asked, "What do you have in your house?" She said, "Nothing except a jar of oil." That exception not only redefined her financial possibility, but it took her out of debt. So don't say nothing. Don't downplay that talent. If it's hairdressing, barbing, cooking, whatever it is, the next step would be to refine it to a point of excellency, to refine it to a point that is deployable to kings. And once you've identified that, you're on your path to success, my friend. As always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.